And then I did okay, actually. Like I did okay. I figured it out. I built a beautiful, beautiful house, beautiful house. And this is in like 2006. And so when we put it for sale, the agent, we got an offer like right away, way under asking. And he's like, and I was like, I don't know what to do now. We got an offer, but it's not what we asked for. He goes, you never know when you're going to get another offer. I suggest you take it. And he gives me a big hug, like, congratulations. And I was like, okay, like I made money. Okay, let's go. Like I didn't even know to sign back. Like this is how stupid and naive and raw, like not even a sign back. Like, oh God, like the dumb mistakes on that house. But anyways, so I made some money and then I thought I could do two at the same time. And
okay. That's funny.
right.
Okay, hold on. Before we go,
Yeah.
okay, because
Sorry.
this is fascinating.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking at the psychology of all of this, Daryl, and saying, and I would be a little bit different in terms of your own self-assessment, being maybe a little dumb, a little stupid. And I'd watch because, I look at it a couple things, because I've worked with investors for, 20 plus years. I mean, literally coached and presented education and research to thousands of investors. I know intimately many investors in terms of psychology, where they go, what they do and they don't do. And, here's what I've learned. As much as you jumped off the cliff, the proverbial cliff, you went along and you dealt with it, you happened to make some money. Out of that came some huge lessons that I'm sure that you actually apply today in that learning, even this many years later.
Right.
And I think there's a part of it where a lot of people just sit on the sidelines and they never take that next step to creating that financial future.
Sure.
Now, I get it. In hindsight, you'll look at it and go, was that ever dumb? But ultimately, I think you have to look at what you took from it, aside from making a little bit of money. Now, when you added the component that said, oh, and then I thought I was pretty good, so I took on two.
Sure.
Now, the plot thickens. Now I'm saying, okay, Daryl, really? Give me
And
a little bit of, okay,
and
so
the
continue.
timing now we're in like 2008, right?
Oh, nice,
But I had
nice.
learned some valuable lessons from that, and I thought I had avoided some pitfalls. Like on that first house, when I first bought it, like it had these big, beautiful trees, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna build this beautiful deck around the tree in the backyard, and these trees are a feature. They're beautiful. And then I ended up fighting with the city, and the city made me tear down the bloody trees. And this is weird because this is in 2006, maybe, yeah, 6, 7. And like right after that, all of a sudden, the city, like all they cared about was trees and protecting trees. And it was all about the trees. So, but the next lot I bought had no trees on it at all. I was like, I'm avoiding trees no matter what. And so I bought a lot, and then we went to the cottage, me and my wife. We had our new daughter then. So I had like left my job. We had a new baby. I had no money coming in, and I do this stupid house first. And like all the money I made really went to paying back my lines of credits, my credit cards, like all the money I borrowed. I basically started at zero again with a bunch of like credit, and now two houses, which I had to borrow all kinds of money for. But so I bought one house. I had enough money to buy that house on my own, or to at least tie it up. Then I'm at the cottage, and my agent calls me. He goes, "You won't believe it. I got great news." Okay. He goes, "3 steps down the street, there's another house for sale. I think you should buy it." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm not there. I can't even look at it." He goes, "Don't worry. It's perfect for you." And it's like right almost beside the other one. So he's like, "You'll get economies of scale." And I'm like, "I'll get economies of scale. That sounds good. Okay, I'm in. Let's make an offer." And I call my dad, and I'm like, "Dad, I need to borrow 50 grand to make a deposit on this other house. Like, don't ask me any questions. I'll write you a check as soon as I get back." Anyway, so I like pull my mother-in-law into this, and I pull my dad into this, and I borrow all kinds of crazy money to do two houses now. And these are not like these are not like $500,000 houses. These are like, I thought I was going to sell them for over $2 million each one of these. Okay.
Mm.
The first one sold for 1.7 or 1.7 and a quarter, 1.650, something like that. Like, these are serious houses. And this is back then. So that now is like 3.5, 4, 4.2. Like, that's what these houses are going for now. So, but anyway, so now I've got two. I didn't even see one. I'm still at the cottage. Now I got to do this whole thing over again, but I got to find twice as much money. But the guys that I borrowed from last time, they're like, yeah, of course. Like, it's going to cost you a couple points more, but yeah, no problem. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, let's go. Meanwhile, they had tied up in the financing these two houses, and they wrapped my personal residence into it. Okay.
Mm.
Which I was like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, let's just get this deal done. Let's go. I'll do whatever it takes because I'm going to make a fortune. Right. And yeah, then, you start hearing on the news as I'm driving to the job sites or I'm driving to the houses, like the US economy is not doing so good and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, geez, I should probably get out of these things like quick. I better sell. And then I'm like, the other side's going, no, you're going to make a fortune. Like, just build those things. Go, go, go. Right. And my wife's like, maybe you should get out of these things. Like, I don't know. You have a bad feeling. And I didn't trust it. And I went ahead and I went into the worst possible market of all time. But like, I know maybe now, like years later, I may not be so stupid. But back then, I'm thinking, rich people have money all the time. It doesn't matter if the market goes down. They're going to be able to buy these houses from me.